Yo, in today's tutorial, I'll be breaking down 3 of my favorite text animations right now. These are all incredibly fire and I'm a huge fan of all 3 of them. None of these effects will require any third-party plugins and I'll break them down step by step. But without any further ado, let's hop right into After Effects. So I'm right here in After Effects and I got this Yeet music video right here. So the first text animation is this one right here. As you can see, super fire. The ones at the top and at the bottom kind of flicker in, and then the one in the middle just zooms in and has this light sweep over it as well. Super clean. And to create this, we need some text layers, so I'll create some right here. Let's start off with the first one. I'll just go for add, last one here. The amount of text layers you want is completely up to you, but I'll go for 3 and then align them up correctly by going up to align and then just align them like that. And if you want them in the center, you can also open up proportional grid and just drag them to where you think the middle is, so like right here. Now that's perfect. And the font that I'm going to be using is just Arial Bold, so just something clean. And I kind of want this text to be a little bit thicker, so I created a stroke in the exact same color, and we can make the stroke a little bit bigger, so like 3, maybe even 4 to make it a little bit thicker. And then I'll do that for all of the layers, and the one in the middle is supposed to be baby blue, so I'll change the color like that. Now that's perfect. So for the ones at the top and at the bottom, we'll create this kind of flicker effect. So let's open up the text animation and click animate. Now select opacity, go down to the range selector, open that up, and then first off, let's turn down the opacity to 0. Now you can't see your text, but that's completely fine, because when we animate the start from 0 all the way up to 100, like half a second in, you can see the text will come in just like that. But we kind of want the text to flicker, so let's open up advanced, and let's go down to randomize order and select that one. So now you can see we'll have this text flicker in, perfect, and it's just 3 letters right there, so it doesn't really flicker too crazy. So we can drag it down and make it a little bit shorter. Now as you can see, we don't really have that crazy flicker, but if you want that, go down to advanced, and for the random seed, just hold alt while you click the stopwatch, and in here let's just type out time times 30. And the higher you keep this value, the more crazy it will get. So as you can see, now we get this flicker. Pretty clean, nothing too crazy. And then let's do the exact same for the one at the bottom. So this text right here, or actually if you don't want to have to redo that, just duplicate this one, drag it down and change the text. And then you can just mess with the values not to have them the exact same. So I'll make this one start a little bit later and end a little bit later as well. We can change this one to time times 35. So now as you can see, they don't look the exact same. And for the one in the middle, I'm just going to have it zoom in. So first thing we're going to do is center the anchor point. Just hold Control while you double click on the pan behind tool and then animate the scale by creating a keyframe and then move it a few frames in. Doesn't really matter how long. And then for like 5 frames in, we turn it down to 0. Now let's ease these keyframes by clicking F9, and we can also turn on motion blur. And let's open up the graph editor. Make sure you're in the value graph. And then we'll just drag this one up and drag this one back to create this kind of smooth zoom in. So we'll go fast in the beginning and then slow down. And this should be good. That's clean. Maybe we can do it a little bit faster. Then drag out the keyframe a tiny bit like that. Now we need to add the light sweep effect. And when we animate this, we'll get this kind of premium look. So we'll just start it off like right here. And right when the text is visible, we'll keyframe the center. And then like 1 second in, we'll turn the position all the way out till the light sweep isn't visible anymore. Now you can mess with the light sweep settings, but I don't necessarily do that. Only thing I like to do is mess with the edge intensity. We can turn it up to like 100, but that's about it. And now to make this text a little bit more visible, we can add on a drop shadow, and let's turn up the distance to like 7 and turn up the softness a bit as well. Let's go for 70. And then I'll just copy this drop shadow and paste onto the other ones. And now this is what we got. And before we get into the next text animations, if you want to track this as well, then just open up the tracker window. If you don't have it right here, just go to Window, select Tracker, and it will pop up. Then just select Track Camera. And now it will add a 3D camera tracker, and this camera tracker will analyze your scene. While it's loading, I'll show you guys something real quick. This is my brand new plugin called TXTFX, and as you can see, it has these text animations that you can just apply with one click, and you can also add your text in here. So whatever you add in here, like add your lyrics, will pop up in your timeline whenever you click on one of these text animations. So just like that, we have a text animation. So if I hide my other layers, you can see we have the text animation right here. And not just that, you can also 3D track your scene. Super easy and super simple inside of the plugin. I'll show it a little bit more in depth at the end, but I just wanted to show you that real quick. So now that the 3D camera tracker has analyzed our scene, you can see that we have a bunch of tracking points in here. And now all we got to do is select one of the tracking points. I'll go for this one right here. So I'll just select that one, right click and create a solid add in camera. And now this solid is completely tracked to our scene. Even though it's barely visible, I'll just need to size it up a lot. You can see that it's staying exactly where it's supposed to be. Now to track our text exactly to the solid, what we need to do is pre-compose the solid. So right click, pre-compose, and make sure you select leave all attributes in the composition. And then in this composition, we need to remove the solid and we need to go up to project. And in our project settings, we need to select the solid, go to composition settings and set the composition settings to whatever you have. So mine is 1920 by 1080. So I'll just select this one right here and then just select our text right here, copy it, go into the pre-comp and then paste it right there. So now if you go out, our text should be tracked to where it's supposed to be tracked. And as you can see, it is, but it's really, really small. So what we got to do is size it up until it's big enough for us, pause, and then we can mess with sub by position afterwards. So as you can see, now it's tracked. That's kind of a process and it takes a while, but my plugin will do it for you in like 2 clicks. It's shameless plug. But now let's hop right into the next text animation. This is the next text animation that I'll break. This is the next text animation that I'll break down. It's super clean and kind of has the same vibe as the last one, but a lot more premium in my opinion. So to create this, let's add one text layer and have our lyrics inside that text layer. So I'll just go for add text and let's just center this and size it up a bit. And I'll make each word a different color. I'll go for like this pink at the first word and the second one can be white. Next, we'll add on a drop shadow and I'll set the softness to 17 and we don't really need to mess with the rest. Next up, I'll add a glow. And for this glow, let's turn up the glow radius to 250 so you can get this really wide glow because it will look really good when we add the next effect on, which is the CC light sweep. And for this effect, we'll actually use 2 of them. So one of them will just be placed like wherever you want it. I'll go for right here. And then we can mess with the values. I'll go for smooth and the width let's go for 33. And the sweep intensity, let's go for 60. And then the edge intensity, let's go for 70. So it's pretty strong, but that's kind of what I want. Or actually, I'll turn down the sweep intensity a little bit. Let's do 45 right there. And then what I'll do next is I'll duplicate the light sweep, reset all the settings, and then the second one will be animated. So it will go from like right here. I'll keyframe it, and then like at the end of the scene, it will go all the way through to the end. So it will end like right there. So this is what we got right now. And then we'll do the same thing that we did for the other text layers. We'll animate it and select opacity and turn down the opacity to 0. And then keyframe the start. Let's go in like almost a second, turn it up to 100. Open up advanced, select randomize order. And for the random seed, let's go for time times 50 this time. So now we get this really randomized text. And then we'll need to animate the scale as well. So I'll open up the scale and let's drag in the keyframe that I just created to like 1 second. And I'll turn down the scale to 0. Easy ease those keyframes. Turn on motion blur, open up the graph. And in here, we'll do something like this where we drag the top one up above where it's supposed to be, like all the way up to 200%. And then we'll drag this one in. So this will zoom in pretty fast, go up and then scale down. And then the more you drag this in, the more you drag this up, the further it will scale up and then scale down. So let's play through and see. That's a little bit too fast, so I'll turn this one back. And now you can see we're getting that exact same look that I had in the beginning. Pretty cool, and we can also drag this one out and just ease it a little bit. Now if you want to track this to your scene, you don't really need to redo all of that stuff we did last time. You just copy it, hide this one, go into the pre-comp, which is this one right here. Remove the text in here and just paste the new one. And then it will be tracked exactly where you want it. That's perfect. Now let's hop right into the third and the last animation. Now for the last text animation, I'll just go through the TXTFX plugin and pick one right here to break it down. I'll probably go for this one is fire, really fire. I think I broke it down in my last tutorial, so I'll go for this one right here. I'll add my text right here, like insert lyrics here. And now we have our text animation right here, super clean. And I'll show you exactly how I created it. First, we have this kind of light pink color with the impact font and also a drop shadow on it, nothing crazy. And there are a few different ways to make your text move like this. I did it by using expressions. As you can see in here, I've used expressions to kind of create this. And to this text layer, first off, just center your anchor point. So double click on the pan behind tool while holding Control, and then keyframe the scale, move it in to like right here, roughly around 1 second in, turn it down to 0, and then ease those keyframes. Let's go for an animation like this where we drag this one up a lot, and this will give us that kind of animation. Pretty easy, nothing too crazy. And then you just do the same for the other text layers. So I just duplicated this real quick. So we'll have the top one coming first, then the middle one, then the last one. And now simple as that, this is what we got. I just lined them up correctly. Now let's add a light sweep to the middle layer as well. CC light sweep, And let's drag this one like right here, make it a lot thicker by dragging up the intensity, and something like this. That should do. As you can see, it's nothing too crazy, but I'm pretty happy with the animation overall. And now to use the TXTFX plugin to track this, well, I'll go for the same one that I went with last time, this one right here. Right click, create a solid and a camera, then go back to the TXTFX plugin, and then just scroll down, click on this button right here, and now our text is automatically tracked exactly where we want it. That was 2 clicks, super easy, super fast. And like I said, the TXTFX plugin will be linked in the description for you to check out for yourself. But thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you in the next one.